Disclaimer, I do not own any rights to any content, videos, research, music, unless it is of my own creation. Everything is for entertainment and commentary purposes. All information is of my own opinion or are alleged until factual evidence has been presented. Cue the music. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of All Things CC. Here's my take. Happy Sunday to you guys. Today I am going to give you guys a couple of quickies from the quick report, and then we're going to get into the main topic, which is the Fani Willis trial. So I'm going to talk about that and get you guys up to date with that, because a lot of people don't know who Fani Willis is and what she has been accused of. So y'all go ahead, y'all stick tuned, and we're about to go ahead and get into this quick report. It's the quick report. Ooh, I like quickies. Okay, you guys, so first up is no other than Chris Brown. He went to his social media to express his dissatisfaction with the NBA removing him from the All-Star this weekend. According to him, he was invited, and then later on, the invite was taken back. And according to Chris, one of the sponsors, Ruffles, had a handle in making that decision at the last minute. He, however, said that they still sent the invite to him to still come and sit courtside and, just be a part of the festivities. And he pretty much said, not fucking happening. So you guys, what are y'all thoughts? Do you guys think that he should be shown grace from his past transgressions, his past flaws, or do you think he should be held accountable for the rest of his life for the domestic dispute that he had with Rihanna back in the early 2000s? Put y'all comments down in the comment section. Okay, you guys, next up, YSL. So apparently they're saying that his defense attorney, Nicole Fagan, has been arrested on gang charges. But also reports are saying that she is not the actual attorney for Young Thug. She is the attorney for Tanquarius Menders in the YSL RICO trial, whom of which she was severed from the trial. So I don't know, you guys, whether she is the actual attorney for Young Thug or not. She's a part of that whole situation, and it do not look good for her if she was actually charged on gang-related situations. Don't look good for her. Y'all, what are y'all thoughts? Congratulations are in order for musician Her. Did you know that she made history by becoming the first Black woman to have a signature Fender guitar? The beautiful guitar was created in a chrome glow inspired by one of her favorite fingernail polish colors, Fender, which was the reason she began playing guitar. So congratulations to her. She is making big moves in the industry. Lastly, there is a latest development on the Jam Master Jay murder trial. They have 2 people in custody as suspects who apparently was there the day that he, of course, life was taken. And the description that they gave is so unreal, you guys. I think I'm going to actually do a separate episode on just this case alone, because it's a lot to cover and I have a lot to research before I can actually give any more details. So there is a latest update and people are in custody now. Okay, you guys, I hope you guys like today's The Quick Report. Now let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand, and that is Fani Willis. Fani Willis is one of the district attorneys who helped to prosecute Donald Trump. She has been allegedly interacting with colleagues on a more personal relationship type level, and it's really just getting out of hand. I got a couple of articles that's going to help me give you guys a little bit backstory on what's going on leading up to the latest court hearing that she just did 2 days ago. I want to read a little bit from her Wikipedia page. Fani Willis is an American attorney. She is the district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, which contains most of Atlanta, serving since 2021. She is the first woman to hold the office. Willis investigated the 2020 presidential election in Georgia, which resulted in indictments against Donald Trump and 18 alleged co-conspirators on charges of racketeering and other crimes. I would like to start off by giving credit to AJC Politics. This is their article. Filing alleges improper relationship between Fulton DA top Trump prosecutor. Fani Willis hired alleged romantic partner as special prosecutor, court motion says. District Attorney Fani Wilson improperly hired an alleged romantic partner to prosecute Donald Trump and financially benefited from their relationship, according to a court motion filed Monday, which argued the criminal charges in the case were unconstitutional. The bombshell public filing alleged that Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, a private attorney, paid for lavish vacations he took with Willis using the Fulton County funds his law firm received. County records show that Wade, who has played a prominent role in the election interference case, has been paid nearly $654,000 in legal fees since January 2022. The DA authorizes his compensation. The motion filed on behalf of defendant Michael Roman, a former Trump campaign official, seeks to have the charges against Roman dismissed and for Willis, Wade, and the entire DA's office to be disqualified from further prosecution of the case. Pallavi Bailey, a Willis spokeswoman, said the DA's office will respond to Roman's allegations through appropriate court filings. Wade did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The document offers no concrete proof of the romantic ties between Willis and Wade, but says sources close to both the special prosecutor and the district attorney have confirmed they had an ongoing personal relationship. Roman's lawyer, Ashley Merchant, said she reviewed the case file and Wade's ongoing divorce proceedings at the Superior Court Clerk's office and made copies of certain documents, but the case file was later improperly sealed because no court hearing was held as required by law, the motion said. Because the case remains under seal, Merchant says she is not sharing the information she obtained from the divorce file until the seal is lifted. She also says she is asking a judge to unseal the case file. It is unclear if the explosive issues raised in the filing undermine the validity of the indictment against Trump and the remaining 14 co-defendants, or simply muddy the waters by questioning Willis' professional ethics. One ethics expert said that the allegations, if true, raise serious questions. Stephanie Gillers, a professor emeritus at New York University Law School who has written extensively about legal and judicial ethics, said a closer look at Willis' decision-making is needed before it can be determined whether the indictment should be dismissed. If the allegations are true, Geller said, Willis was conflicted in the investigation and prosecution of this case and wasn't able to bring the sort of independent professional judgment her position requires. That does not mean that her decisions were in fact improperly motivated, Geller said in an email. It does mean that the public and the state as her client could not have the confidence in the independent judgment that her position required her to exercise. The filing alleges that Willis and Wade have been involved in a romantic relationship that began before Wade was appointed special prosecutor. It says they traveled together to Napa Valley in Florida and they cruised the Caribbean together using tickets Wade purchased from Norwegian and Royal Caribbean cruise lines, although the filing did not include documentation of those purchases. The motion said the check sent to Wade from Fulton County and his subsequent purchase of vacations for Willis could amount to honest service fraud, a federal crime in which a vendor gives kickbacks to an employer. It is also possible this could be prosecuted under the federal racketeering statute, the motion said. Merchant wrote that the motion is not filed lightly, nor is it being filed without consideration, forethought, research, or investigation. Okay, you guys, so that was half of the article. It's a whole lot more to read. I just don't have the time to read every single thing. But you could go back to AJC Politics website and you can look it up. So yeah, so we're about to go ahead and get into the latest development of her being at court a couple of days ago. And we're just going to listen a little bit to the things that she had to say.
Isn't it true that you met Mr. Wade October 2019 at a judges conference?
He hasn't gotten to the point where Ms. Willis should be treated also in this situation.
I think we have.
I very much want to be here, so I'm not a hostile witness. I very much want to be here.
Not so much that you're hostile, Ms. Willis, it'd be an adverse witness. Your interests are opposed to Ms. Merchant's.
Thank you.
Merchant's interests are contrary to democracy, Your Honor. Not.
Okay, you guys, so before we go any further, I just wanted to point out, y'all see how her body language is and how she's talking? Like, she has the body language of someone who knows they're guilty but don't care because she feels like she hasn't done anything wrong. And that's what's going to get her caught up. Her attitude in this whole thing is just off-putting. And the way she just carried herself in that courtroom, going back and forth with the judge, you know, just being a little smart aleck. And it's not going to end well for her. So let's go ahead and keep watching.
I would ask, I need 3 documents in front of me, and they're the 3 filings of Ms. Merchant. 3 filings. Does anyone have the 3 filings of Ms. Merchant? Does the court have the 3 filings of Ms. Merchant?
When you say the filings, you mean like the pleadings?
The pleadings, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I think we could locate those for you in the supplemental.
I want the one filed on January the 8th, the one filed immediately after we filed ours, and the final one.
If you want to take a break to get them, I can make a copy. I think we have one.
You know, the only copy I have is going to have my notes on it. So if we don't have a clean copy,
Have a 5-minute break during
let's
all
take
of the documents.
all right.
I'll sit here and hold on. Give me the time period. That we're
Mr.
talking
Wade
about.
visited you at the place you laid your head.
When?
Has he ever visited you at the place you laid your head?
So let's be clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth,
Judge,
And
this is-
it is a lie. It is a lie.
Ms. Willis?
You see.
Mr. Saynoff.
2019. So you and Mr. Wade met in October 2019 at a conference?
That is correct. And I think in one of your motions you tried to implicate I slept with him at that conference, which I find to be extremely offensive. I stayed at that conference. Mr. Wade was my teacher. I did not meet him when he taught the class. I was standing outside talking to Lisa Reeves, who is a judge. Me and her were just having a conversation. Mr. Wade walks up. I think they hug each other. They have some brief conversation. She introduced.
When did Mr. Wade visit you at a place where you were living between 2019 and 2021?
So you want to start with the lie that he lived with me in South Fulton in 2019, a home he's never been to? That's one lie you told in your document. No.
Judge, I didn't ask her about that.
Ms. Merchant, I want you to ask a very precise question. I think she's saying and answering that he did not live with her. So why don't we break that up into smaller
Ever.
parts?
And I didn't ask about living.
But you put in your, while we're talking about professionalism, while we're talking about professionalism, she put in 3 different documents
Don't
he
you
lived
have
with me
full opportunity to respond?
in
and
2000
filed that with the court.
in
professional.
2019.
He's never been to South Fulton. In 2019, I lived in South Fulton. He has never been to my residence in 2019, ever, not once.
In
2020?
2019, he's never been to your residence, any place.
I lived in my home in South Fulton before I started getting the threats that were here, a house I paid for with my own sweat and tears. I'm no longer able to live there. But in 2019, I did. And in the 2 months of 2019 that I knew Mr. Wade, 3 months, the beginning of October, all of November, and all of December, Mr. Wade never came to my house in South Fulton. Let me help you out. I lived there in 2020. He never came to my house in 2020, let alone live with me, as you put falsely in these documents. In the first 3 months of 2021, when I could still enjoy my home, Mr. Wade never came to South Fulton, and it is certainly a lie that he lived with me.
About, you said that sometimes you paid Miss Yurdi cash. When you went on vacation with Mr. Wade, let's just go one by one. Let's start with the first one. What's the first time you went on vacation with Mr. Wade?
I think the first time we went on vacation was around April of 22, and a vacation is a stretch, but I'm trying to be comprehensive. I recall April of 22. His birthday is March the 18th, so that would have been his 49th birthday. I took him to like Tennessee for the day. I think we went to a museum. I think we might have stayed the night. I'm not sure, but I mean, Tennessee's kind of hard to call a vacation, but I just am trying to be inclusive. And like I said, I know it wasn't more than a day.
So you didn't spend the night?
I think that we did. That's what I'm telling you. I think that there's a possibility that we stayed that night in April of 22.
Who paid for the hotel?
I think I did. It was his birthday.
When did you start dating?
When I started dating Mr. Wade, it was right around then.
April 2020?
22, yes.
2022.
It was around then. I don't know, like, it's not like when you're in grade school and you send a little letter and it says, will you be my girlfriend, and you check it. I don't know the day that we started seeing each other, but it was early 22 is my recollection.
Okay, early 22. And you all went to Florida on vacation as well?
I don't recall going to Florida on vacation with him.
You never went to Florida with Mr. Wade?
When we went to get on the cruise ship, we went to Miami.
Okay, that's the only time that you went to Florida with him?
I think we went to Miami and spent the night. That's my recollection.
Okay.
I think we spent one night so that we wouldn't miss the ship. That's my recollection of our
Who paid for that hotel?
In Miami? I don't remember that.
And how'd you get to Miami?
We would have flown. And we've done that, so that I'm clear, we've done that twice. I think one time we stayed, and I honestly can't tell you, did we stay when the ship left or did we stay when the ship came back? I also can't tell you, so there's 2 cruises out of Miami.
Boy, let me tell y'all, she is acting like she don't remember nothing about nothing. I think this, I think that. How you not know if you stayed the night somewhere so that you won't miss your cruise ship? I would think you remember that, especially if it's supposed to be like a little quote unquote vacation or whatever you want to call it. You're going to remember those specific details. This is one thing about, lawyers being on trial for something, because they will go back and forth with you. They know how to play the game, and she is acting like she don't remember nothing when she actually remembers when she went on this cruise ship. She knows where she stayed the night at. Like, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. She looked like she is just making up stories as she goes along. Now, I'm not saying that some of the stuff she's saying is not true, but that I think, well, I don't remember if I paid for this or if I paid for that. Ma'am, do you not have receipts? Do he not have receipts? Or was that the whole point of y'all, you not having receipts, so you can't claim that you paid for anything? But a lot of this stuff, I'm not buying from her. She is just trying to save face to make it seem like she's not doing anything wrong. And I think that's what's going to blow up in her face. Now, as far as her saying that the motions have lies in it, saying that she lived with him or he lived with her and things like that, I don't know, y'all. It's just, it's hard to agree with that, believe it or not. But she's just giving me, she's guilty. That's her aura is giving me she's guilty. Let's continue.
One that's in that October time period that was with his mom. And then there was another that was a New Year's Eve trip. I know I paid for the New Year's Eve trip because the tickets were $697 each. And I thought, this is ridiculous that the tickets are $700 to go to Miami. But when you travel during New Year's Eve, they get you.
So let's just back up and talk about the first time that you went to Florida with Mr. Wade. That was the time that you said you stayed in Miami at the hotel the first night?
That's the time I told you I am not sure. So I'm not sure of two things. So I want to make sure that my testimony is clear. I'm not sure if we stayed in Miami on the October trip. I'm not sure if we stayed in Miami on the December trip. I just can't remember that. And I also don't remember, so that the record is clear, I don't remember if the necessity was as we got on the ship or we got off the ship. But I do remember there was a night spent in Miami because either whatever, I don't remember. But I think that there was a night spent in Miami.
That cruise is the one that you took in October, right?
Ma'am, if you have something to refresh my recollection, I'm intentionally trying to not be difficult with you, but I don't want to make up something.
Right.
I know that on one of those two trips, we stayed in Miami. I am not sure right now. You're asking me about...
Oh, I'm sorry, you misunderstood. I was not asking you which night you stayed in Miami. I'm asking if you took a cruise in October 2022 with Mr. Wade.
Yes, and his mom.
And his mother. That's what I was asking.
Yes.
Is that the first time you met his mother?
Yes.
It was on that cruise. And that was Royal Caribbean, I believe?
I honestly don't remember what ship. I know we've taken two cruises. I don't know what the ships were.
But he paid for the flight and the cruise on Royal Caribbean that time.
So yes, he paid. He is the original one that does it. He has something called, Mr. Wade is a world traveler. I'm not as versed as him. He's been to 6 of the 7 continents. And so he has both a personal travel agent and he also has a cruise travel agent. I don't know anything about either of those kind of travel agents. So he is the one that would book the travel, but we need to be clear when we're talking about just because he booked it doesn't mean, like, I don't consider him having taken me anyplace. Let me just be honest. The only point that's ever taken somebody someplace is for his 50th birthday. I consider that I took him to Belize. And I took him to Belize because, I don't want to discuss his personal business, but I'm happy Mr. Wade is still here with us. And I did 50 big.
After that cruise, you all flew to Aruba and spent a couple days in a hotel there, correct?
Right, and his mother was not happy
He
that we left her
initially
behind.
paid for that. He initially paid for that.
For Aruba, yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about both of those. I know he initially paid for it. Did you pay him back?
For the cruise and for Aruba, yeah, I gave him his money before we ever went on that trip.
You gave him cash before you ever went on the trip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when you got cash to pay him back on these trips, would you go to the ATM?
No, lady.
You would not go to the ATM?
No.
Okay. So Fulton County pays you direct deposit, I assume?
Yes, Fulton County and the state of Georgia both pay me direct deposits.
Okay. So the cash that you would pay him, you wouldn't get it out of the bank?
I have money in my house.
You have money in your house. So it was just money that was there?
When you meet my father, he's going to tell you as a woman, you should always have, which I don't have, so don't tell him that. You should have at least 6 months. And can't know why this old black man feels like that, but he does. When we were growing up,
Lord, she done had to give an explanation of why she got cash at home. Lord have mercy. It's just like it's like she grabbing for straws at this point. But her father did come and he did testify. So I do have a little clip of that and I'm going to post that too.
house. That has been, I don't know, all my life. If you're a woman and you go on a date with a man, you better have $200 in your pocket. So if that man acts up, you can go where you want to go. So I keep cash in my house, and I don't keep cash as good in my purse like I used to, because I don't go on many dates. But when you go on a date, you should have cash in your pocket.
You've never given Mr. Wade money through Cash App?
No.
The only money you've ever given him outside of a contract is cash.
I didn't give him money in a contract, so that was cute. But I didn't give him money outside in a contract. What happened? No, we're gonna answer it since you said it. He worked more hours than he was paid, and the county paid him for the work that he did. So don't be cute with me and then think that you're not gonna get an answer.
And I will ask you about the contract in a minute. I asked you about cash. Did you ever pay him anything? And I'm trying to qualify my questions. I'm not talking about the contract with Fulton County that was paid. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about outside of that. Did you ever pay him anything other than cash?
I've only given him cash a few times in the course of what we're talking about.
So you've
if
never
we
used
would
a
go to
credit card?
dinner,
Let her finish her answer.
if we would go to dinner, I wouldn't give him cash because he paid for dinner or I paid for dinner. I've given him cash only a few times in life, probably 4.
Okay.
Probably the most money I've ever handed him is $2,500. The least amount of money I've handed him, probably between $500 and $1,000.
This objected to us getting Delta records for flights that you may have taken with Mr. Wade.
And, well, no, look. I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
So my question was, do you have any
I
problem?
object to getting any personal records of mine.
We're not dealing with privilege through a witness.
And I'm not, no, I'm not dealing with privilege. What we had offered to put them in camera for the court to review, and I just want to know if she has any
That's
problem.
not something you deal with a witness.
You know, I find it quite funny how this last clip that was just shown, she was objecting to them getting personal information about her. But ain't that one of the main reasons why you became an attorney, ma'am? You dig into people's personal lives and get information to prosecute them and indict them. Example, Donald Trump. You're doing the same thing that you're trying to tell people not to do to you. She is insisting that she is not on trial. She is insisting that she ain't done nothing wrong. Her body language speak otherwise. Her tone of voice speak otherwise. Her squinting of the eyes, trying so hard to remember something that she actually remembers, but she's trying to play it off that she don't remember shit. Like, she might not come out on top with this. For real, for real. Because although people are on trial for stealing an election, her relationship with her boo bae is what's causing more attention than the indictment itself. So she has nobody to blame but herself with that. But like I said, I don't think all the stuff that she's saying is not true. I just think her attitude, her body language, and the way she's getting smart in the courtroom is what's really going to, it's not going to be good for her. Now, if she come out on top and she don't be found guilty, then that'll be something to me. Now here I am about to go ahead and play a small clipping of her father giving his testimony.
I do. My name is John Clifford Floyd III.
Say, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you tell the court, are you currently retired?
Yes, I am.
And prior to being retired, can you tell the court a little bit about, did you work in the legal career? Were you a lawyer?
I'm an attorney. I practice law. I've probably tried 1,000 cases. About 50% of my practice was criminal law. 25% of it was family law. And the rest was whatever walked through the front door could pay for it.
Okay. And, sir, can you tell the court, are you from Atlanta?
No, I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. I spent most of my legal career, I would say, in Washington, D.C. was kind of the circle, but I've tried cases all over the country, and I tried the longest. I was the first lawyer to try an international criminal court. I was with the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. I was in trial there for 4.5 years in Arusha, Tanzania, and Hague in the Netherlands.
Okay. And when you weren't there, it sounds like the kind of center of gravity was Washington, D.C.
Correct, but I've tried cases in West Virginia, Maryland, Florida. I mean, I have one daughter, Fani Willis.
Okay. And I want to direct your attention back to 2019, okay?
Yes.
Back in 2019, can you tell the court, did you move here to Atlanta?
I was living in Johannesburg, South Africa. And unfortunately, for some reasons, I could not get an extended visa. When I retired from the practice of law in 2018, I moved to South Africa. And I had to leave South Africa, and I did then come to Atlanta.
Okay, and do you, sir, remember about the time period in 2019 when you moved in with your daughter here in Atlanta?
It would have been the spring or summer of 2019.
And after you moved here, did you get a driver's license to kind of confirm your residency within Atlanta?
Well, my driver's license for the District of Columbia was going to expire on my birthday, which is in October. And yes, I did get a license here in the state of Georgia.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Okay.
Yes, I see it was issued on 9/28/2019.
Okay. So before we get there, do you recognize State Exhibit 2?
Yes, just my driver's license.
And is State Exhibit 2 a fair and accurate copy of your physical driver's license?
Absolutely.
This time, Your Honor, the state would tender what's been marked as State Exhibit 2 into evidence.
Seeing no other objections, State Exhibit 2 is submitted for the record.
Now, and for the record, Your Honor, the state is going to supplement State Exhibit 2 with a redacted copy of the license. The current copy of your driver's license was issued. Can you tell the court when was that driver's license here, your Georgia driver's license issued?
It was on 9/28/2019.
Okay, so September 28, 2019. Now, when you moved into District Attorney Willis's home, who lived there?
Well, my daughter lived there. I lived there, and from time to time, my grandchildren would come.
Okay, and did your grandchildren, were they at school coming and going?
Exactly. I think they were in school in various jurisdictions.
And during the time, how long did you live at or with Miss Willis and at her home here in Fulton County?
She was forced to move after she was elected. I don't know if you want me to go through the whole thing, but that, Your Honor, if Your Honor will indulge me. After she was sworn in on January 1 of 2021, and on or about the 3rd of February, at probably 5:30 a.m. in the morning, there were people outside her house cursing and yelling and calling her the B word and the N word, and it was bizarre, okay?
Pause, sir. Mr. Urbani. Here's the objection to you.
I would say it's effect on listener. He was present while all of these things were occurring. But I can...
No, that's... And he's saying he was personally present to hear these things?
Yes.
Okay, overruled.
Okay, and...
can you tell the court, did Miss Willis have to move from her home?
Yes, she was forced to leave.
Okay. And those concerns came to your attention, and after what you heard and saw that day, you remained at the house?
Yes.
And can you tell the court, with what you just described, why did you remain the district attorney's home here in Fulton County?
Mr. Urbani.
I believe it's relevant based on a lot of the questions that were asked yesterday of Ms. Willis as to about the security threat and the fact that it was implied that those threats were not necessarily real in the sense that Mr. Floyd remained in the home. There were many questions about the fact that he remained and her children could still come and go to the house. I think it's relevant based to the testimony that was elicited from defense counsels yesterday.
Overruled.
Okay, you guys, so you guys have just seen a few clips from the father's testimony. I believe he was there to be a character witness on behalf of his daughter. And the interview or the questioning was a lot longer. I don't want to be here for no hour and a half or 2 hours with you guys, so I had to cut a lot of it out. I just wanted you guys to see that her father did come in and testify to the validity of her living in South Fulton County or something, and he lived with her and he witnessed some of the things that she mentioned when she was there yesterday about how she was being threatened and she was forced to move and things like that, but she didn't mention that her dad was living with her at the time either. So he is saying I live with her. She was there, and then from time to time, my grandchildren would be there. She is his only child. So he just trying to provide a little bit more context about the whole situation regarding her living in Georgia, then having to leave when she got sworn into office, and yeah, people making threats about her and saying they was gonna unalive her and her family, so she had to leave. But he stayed there. Like, I would have left too. I'm sorry, I would have left too. If my life was threatened, I would have left too. But you guys, if you want to see the full court hearing, y'all can find it on YouTube, and just listen to everything that he had to say. Like I said, I was not trying to be sitting here for no almost 2 hours, and I wouldn't do you guys like that. I know you guys got stuff to do. So like I said, I'm going to follow this story as it progresses on, and give you another update at that time. And y'all let me know what y'all think about the whole situation so far. Like, do y'all agree with me about her body language and her tone and her being so defensive? Like, do y'all think that's helping her case, or do you feel like she has a right to be acting that way in the courtroom because she is a district attorney? Do you think she's supposed to be a little bit more professional? And things of that nature. So drop your comments down in the comment section. If there's something that I missed or I didn't understand completely, then y'all just inform me in the comment section. I'm always here willing to learn. So with that being said, I'm going to close this episode out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for subscribing to me. You new subscribers, thank you so much. Let's continue to push me to get past 500 to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And yeah, I chat up with you guys on the next episode. Later.